Hey, what's going on, Thrive Hive? It's Chris, and this is my first solo video, and today I want to talk about something that is pretty triggering for me over the past several weeks. It's something that I've really had to sit with, and it's something that has brought up old fears for me, something that has scared me, quite frankly, and at the same time, it's given me new clarity. This topic is about Aubrey Marcus and Vylana's announcement that they are going to open their marriage up again to polyamory, and while I get it, they're not calling it polyamory. They're calling it something crazy like radical monogamy or something like that. But let's be real. It is what it is, right? So before I go deeper into this, I do want to make something really, really clear. I'm not here to judge or cast aspersions at Aubrey because I actually have a ton of respect for him. He's had a lot of impact on me in my own journeys with plant medicines, and he was very inspirational in my work. But this situation has hit me really, really personally because a couple of years ago, if you've watched our content, Hannah and I have filmed a video on this already, but she asked us if we could open our marriage. It's what actually led me down the path to find Aubrey in the first place. And we've been completely open about our experience because our belief is if our stories can help others, then we have a responsibility to share it. And for that, on the end screen here, I'll put the video if you want to see it. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. My response was a full body hell no, right? And that hell no was not coming just from a place of losing her, but because everything in me said that this just was not the path for us. We walked it through mentally, emotionally, and that's the conclusion we came to. So when I'm watching Aubrey go down this path again, especially after building such a powerful message around healing and devotion, and publicly stating that the poly lifestyle wasn't for him, it triggered me a lot. I'm not going to lie, but it also gave me the opportunity to anchor deeper into my own beliefs. And I'm always grateful for anything that encourages me to go deeper and to gain more clarity about me, my life, where I am, my relationship. How can I become who I need to become to live the life that I want to live? So I want to break down a few specific things that they said in their podcast, and I want to offer my response. And I don't want to do this from a place of moral superiority. I want to do this through the lens of sacred containment, which is what I believe masculine leadership really needs to look like. And why, to me, this moment for Aubrey and Vylana is not about expansion. It's about collapse or regression dressed up as consciousness, right? So once again, I'm super grateful for the clarity that this has created for me. And this is kind of some of the things, like I've gotten clarity about what I believe sacred aligned masculinity actually is, right? And I always viewed Aubrey as that guy, and now I don't. Going through this process has actually helped me reformulate my beliefs on what masculine leadership in a relationship actually looks like and what it means to protect the energetic container between you and your beloved as a man, right? Like, that's important. Ultimately, I also saw this, how easy it is for your ego to get so inflated or for spiritual bypassing to dress up old patterns in new language, right? So I want to take some time. I want to walk through where I stand, what sacred containment means to me, and why I believe it's one of the most powerful, courageous, and ultimately erotic choices that a man can make, even though I feel like Aubrey might not agree with this. So I guess the first thing I want to say to this point is I fully believe that love can take many forms. I want to make it abundantly clear that I don't idolize monogamy and I don't shame polyamory. I have poly friends and I respect their choices. But for me, sacred union isn't just about what you can handle, right? That's what he said. Sacred union is what you can handle in the video. He tried to so nobly position it as this, right? To me, sacred union is what you choose to build. You see, love isn't just a feeling. It's an energy that needs structure to grow in integrity, right? For me, that structure is exactly what I call sacred containment. Now, that doesn't mean fear-based monogamy. It means presence-based devotion. You see, not all boundaries are built from insecurity as they try to position in the video. Some boundaries are actually built from reverence. Reverence for what you have, reverence for what you need to protect and what you value most. So one of the lines that stuck out to me in their podcast was when the counselor said this: when eros breaks down in a relationship, so does integrity. And I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is the leap that they made, which they basically said, all right, instead of breaking down our integrity, and lying and cheating and doing these things. Let's explore outside of the container. So to me, in my world, that's not integrity, that's avoidance. You see, if Eros fades, it's not a sign to leave and to bring other energy into the container. It's a sign to reinvest, reignite, and reawaken what you've already built. See, the idea that opening your relationship to outside people and energy puts you in the path to reclaiming integrity, I don't know. For me, that just doesn't land. So sacred containment means when the flame gets low, we don't go find another fire. We learn to stoke the one that we already have. And this is where it really started to get tough for me. It's where it started to get emotional, because if you really listen between the lines, it doesn't feel like this decision is coming from a place of mutual excitement. Now, if it were, it might be a little bit different, right? The problem is this feels like Aubrey's leading the charge and Vylana is trying to convince herself that she's okay with it while she's visibly in pain and crying and emotionally struggling through the process. Now, I've seen this before. I've experienced this before. When Hannah and I were in our hardest seasons, I saw how easy it was to bypass somebody else's pain by saying, but we're growing. This is conscious. It's love. It's expansion. I've got room for more love. I was on the other side of it. But when I look at Aubrey and his role and thinking about real masculine leadership, it's not about putting your partner in a position to relive their trauma and call it awakening, which is what he's doing. It's saying, I know your wounds, and because I love you, because I honor your spirit, I'm not going to put you in a position that reopens them just so I can chase my edge, which is exactly what he is doing at this point in time. Bringing somebody else into your sacred container, no matter how spiritual you try to make it, it alters your bond. And to me, that's not growth, that's risk. And it's risk with a cost that you can't always calculate until it's too late. So this is another quote that really bothered me. Could I want your pleasure even if that pleasure doesn't come from me? And I think about this in terms of Hannah, right? Like in our relationship. Listen, I get the sentiment. Want your partner's happiness, even if it doesn't include you. It's a beautiful thing in a lot of areas. I want Hannah's happiness. Not all of her happiness should be derived from me. She should have an independent life, but not sexually. See, to me, sex is not just an activity of fun, although let's be real, it should be fun, right? It's not just a moment of pleasure, even though there's plenty of pleasure in it. Sex is an energetic exchange. So when Hannah and I connect, when you and your partner connect, when anybody connects sexually, we are literally merging energetically, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So no, I cannot want her sexual pleasure to come from somebody else, because if it does, that energy is going to enter our container that we built, that container that we're trying to protect. And I can't pretend that that doesn't matter, because it does. So they shared this stat that most couples spend 6 minutes a day focusing on their relationship. And listen, I get it. That is a problem. I agree. It's a problem, and it's a big problem. But here is where we see things differently. Here's where I see things differently, I should say, from Aubrey. They use that stat as a justification for why traditional relationships don't work, right? And they're claiming that there are very few monogamous relationships as it is because of infidelity and pornography and lies. And while I agree with the problem, what I disagree with is their solution. This is how I see it. Instead of using that as a call and a stat that validates and justifies opening up your marriage, why don't we use it as a call to do better, to be better, right? The answer isn't more partners in opening up your marriage. It's more presence, because you don't deepen Eros by inviting new people into the bedroom. You deepen it by showing up fully for the person that you've already built a container with. See, it's much easier to hide in the dopamine rush of the excitement of the new partners than it is to face the mirror over and over and over again to create depth with the partner that you already have. That's intimacy and sacred connection to me, right? So the question is, this would be my question to him. When does it end? When is this going to end? How will either woman truly feel safe with Aubrey from this point moving forward? My answer is I don't think they will. So another thing that hit me sideways a bit was this. They turned off the comments to the YouTube video, right? So I'm not going to read too much into this. I get it. But if you're fully in integrity, you usually don't have to shut down feedback. You stand in your decision. I understand that they were receiving threats. Some of the threats were really nasty. They were getting comments that were just really nasty. But to me, they're going to get threats anyway. People are going to send them emails. They're going to get them somewhere else. They're going to see them. So why not use those threats to stand in love and let those people look like the monsters and let the world see and galvanize what they're going through if they truly believed in what they were doing, right? Like, to me, that's a big thing. So, and I say this because I've created a lot of polarizing content on my channels over the years, and I've never once turned off the comments. I've gotten a lot of insults. I've gotten a lot of threats, but my mindset is if I can't handle the comments, it means I'm not truly in alignment with what I'm doing. I guess to me, turning off the comments felt like a nervous system that knows something's off, and they don't want to face that reflection over and over and over again. It's just what it felt like to me. Getting the threats isn't something they could tell me they were surprised by. Aubrey is way too self-aware for that. That's just how I see it. At the end of the day, this doesn't feel like expansion to me. It feels like a return to old patterns. Aubrey going back to polyamory and Vylana stepping into a dynamic that feels deeply unsafe for her. And to me, that's sad. Now, I'm not saying everybody should live like me. I'm not. I'm not saying everybody needs to believe in the things that I believe. But I am saying that just because something is done in public like this does not make it a noble act as they're trying to position it. They're saying things like, we're doing this consciously and we're being honest and we're not cheating. Okay, that's great. It really is. But Aubrey, are you leading? Are you actually protecting what's sacred to you? Your wife, the person you made a commitment to. Are you creating safety for her? Because to me, that's what the role of the sacred masculine is. So here's where I land. I want to be chosen, and I want to choose again and again. I don't want to chase novelty. I want to build fire. I believe in sacred containment, not because I'm afraid, but because I respect the energy that we're working with. And I truly believe that Eros isn't something that you find by widening the field. It's something you cultivate within the container. And I get it. This path isn't easy. It asks more of you. But I believe that the deepest freedom is found through devotion. So if you're a man watching this and you're wondering what's right for you, just know this. It's okay to want depth. It's okay to build safety. In fact, building safety is your job. It's okay to say, this space is sacred and I will protect it. And it's okay to be scared in the process. Bottom line is, neither decision or path is easy. So why not choose the one where you show up as the sacred masculine that you were put here to be? That's where I stand. That's what I believe. And that's the love that I'm choosing to build. So thanks for being here. If this resonates, share it, leave a comment, send it to somebody who needs to hear it, because this is a big topic right now. If you disagree or have a different take, let me know. I promise I won't shut off the comments. If you agree, let me know which part resonated the most for you. I just want to see us all intentionally building relationships worth revering. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe so we can see you on the next video. And make sure to check out the Thrive Hive podcast with me and Hannah on the end screen, or check out the interview where Hannah and I share our story. I think it'll help. I'll see you around.